What's up, everybody? Welcome to First Tuesday. I'm so glad you're here. What I was telling people kind of before we hit record is a lot of people are in Summit hangover mode where they're dragging a little bit, and that's why a lot of people don't implement the things that they've learned. We go through Summit and we have all of these explosions, especially with Power Talk and then Summit. And then we're behind when we get home, right? Like we put some stuff aside to go to Summit, and so now it's like we're trying to catch up, and we just kind of need a minute to exhale and to breathe because we didn't sleep at Summit, that's for sure. And so, but that's why a lot of people they don't put to work the stuff that they've learned, or like, as high of highs that we've had, like we get home and we get some low of lows, and then it's just like we don't engage, right? So First Tuesday is, I think, coming at a perfect time for those that are here or catching the replay, because First Tuesday is designed to implement. It's designed to take what we've learned and give you action steps and accountability stuff to put it to use. So I see a couple new faces. I just want people to maybe introduce yourself and maybe say how you found New Wave. So Faith, I don't know if you can say hi, but we definitely workshop during First Tuesday, but how did you find New Wave, and what was your biggest takeaway from the Power Talk or from Summit?
Well, I heard about New Wave from one of the coaches on my team, Sissy Duncan.
Oh yeah.
She told me that Robin was a part of it.
Oh yeah.
And I think I saw Robin speak to you when we were at Summit. I was like, who is she talking to? It was like, that's Andrew from New Wave. I was like, what's that?
Well, welcome to the group. New Wave, for those that are completely new, we're a collection of everybody. It doesn't matter what downline and what we are, as we're committed to making everybody better. It's definitely made a difference in my life, and we welcome you here. We have Power Talks once a month, and then it's always the last Tuesday of the month, and then we come right back in with the first Tuesday to make sure that everybody implements and puts things to use. So Kelly, I don't know, I see you jumping on. Not sure if I know about you yet. Like, how did you find out about New Wave, and what was your biggest takeaway from the Power Talk or from Summit?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, welcome to the First Tuesday.
Thanks. I just happened to, I don't remember how I heard about New Wave. Cheyenne and I heard about it at the same time. We both jumped on like one of those first calls, and I was just kind of caught up in like focusing on other areas at the time. And, I don't know. She'd been talking about like the branding course for quite a while, and it was funny because at Summit, that was like one of the biggest things I was telling her while we were out was, I'm like, I need to jump on that course, and it was awesome that you posted like right after Summit. So my biggest takeaway from everything was like owning your legacy, and like Shanti really killed me. Like it really hit home, and like acting as if you are living in a glass house, like that just like cracked me wide open. Like I was already dealing with some stuff while I was there, and I've always known what I wanted my legacy to be, but I didn't have the courage to really own it and to potentially go public with it. So I'm working on that angle right now, and the branding course is really going to help me get there, I feel. So it'll help me get over the fear of like really taking it there. I'm like, and if Shanti having the courage to like come out public with what he did share with everybody.
Yeah.
Like if he can do it, I can do it. So yeah, that was like a watershed moment.
No doubt, right? Can you imagine saying something, like in a freaking arena full of people? And I know they're like, we're all fans of Shanti, right? Like he was definitely in a home crowd. But that's cool, right? He felt like he had that trust. So, and if you guys don't know what he's talking about, he talked about how he was molested as a younger boy, and how he had to kind of come to terms and accept that. I had total like mind blown moment that too. And how cool, to create a legacy or a brand where you have a stadium full of people who are like on your side, right? Who are rooting for you, where that kind of lesson is valuable. And I think a lot of what we do as coaches is share our vulnerable side, right? We let people in, we let people, we're not just this, pretty picture of what a fitness model is. Like, we're real people. But how cool to like give enough value where you have that many people on your side. It's like we can use that on little micro baby levels, and it's okay to share the stuff we've been through to get to where we are today. So anybody else who just has this brain like explosion of some of the Power Talk or Summit that you guys want to share? Well, that's cool. Well, I want to make sure that, it seems like the Power Talk was so far away, right? Like that was like that was a whole summit ago, and Summit was like multiple days of content in 3 days, and then plus travel time. So, but I wanted to give a shout out to everybody who contributed to the Power Talk, because I know for me personally, it set me up to capture Summit so well. Mainly that destination guide I got to and from the airport for free. That was my first ever time I used an Uber ride. That was so helpful. And then had my binder with Anna's freemium. I got my notes all in that. And then what Dana did to make her tracker, like that's how I'm going to implement the stuff. So who here has like downloaded and printed out the like the daily tracker, like the high level goals stuff? I'm gonna have to print like way more of those out, Dana, because I'm gonna use that for multiple different kind of vectors too. How many people have no idea what I'm talking about? Maybe. Do you guys all know what I'm talking about? Okay. All right. So I know we had the Power Talk, and it was the Tuesday before we left, and some people had already left, right? They didn't have time to download. But rather than me maybe talking about it, I'll let Dana maybe take the reins, because that was her brainchild. Our Power Talk was about digging in, breaking through, and then reaching new heights. Hey, Robin. We just Faith was telling me about how she found New Way. It was through you, so I appreciate you hooking us up or inviting her in here. So, but Dana, why don't you?
Hi, Faith. We just stayed together in Nashville.
Nice.
Hi, I know.
So the point of the Power Talk, and if you haven't watched that, head over to our like page and catch up, and then we will have the recording. I still have to tabulate, but I went to Summit and I got busy too, y'all. So I'm still catching up too. I'm totally hope you guys can cut me a little slack on that. But I will put it all together. But Summit was great because we saw so many people like up on that stage. They're where we want to be. But to actually get to where we want to be, we got to dig in, right? We have to have a couple breakthroughs to get to that point and reach new heights. And what Dana did is make a freemium that actually is going to help us get there, like step by step. So it's not just, oh, here's this really big idea, big thing, I don't know how to do it. Like, she breaks it down and teaches us how to do it. So I'm going to turn it over to Dana. Maybe Dana, you can talk about what you were thinking and going up into that, and then how you would use that on some of the stuff that we learned at Summit. So.
Yeah, definitely. So kind of brought me to making the tracker was just kind of going through some own personal development myself, and kind of realizing that I wasn't really good at setting really big goals, because they always felt too daunting. I wasn't really sure how to get there, how to set a time frame to get there. And then we were talking about doing the Power Talk, and Andy was talking about goal setting and how if a push goal is a 10 and what you're doing right now is at like a 1, 2, or 3, you kind of use that to gauge how far to go to the next step, so that each time you set a new goal, you want to be at a 6 or 7 effort level. And so I kind of put all of that stuff together to kind of come up with this way to set your goals, but have a plan and a way to track it to actually accomplish your goal. So in the tracker, the first thing that you do is you set what your big push goal is for this time of next year. So you're looking at Summit of 2017. And you want to pick something that's big and something that's a little bit scary, but also something that's going to be a little bit realistic to reach in a year time frame. And then once you have, and that's called a high level goal, once you have that high level goal, you have to break it out. You need to have small steps that kind of get you there. So each month you set a mid-level goal that gets you one step closer to that high level goal. And I broke it out into the three categories that we use for the vital behaviors. So you set a mid-level goal for personal development. So for this month, I picked for myself that I want to work on kind of confidence, and being to Summit kind of made me realize that, and watching all these people talk, that this is something that I can really do. I can do it. So I wanted to work on personal development that's going to keep me in that mindset. So I'm going to finish the book Grit that I am currently reading, and then my next one's going to be Eat That Frog. So I picked, what personal development area I need to work on to get to my high level goal, and then what I was going to do to address that. Then you can set, how many coaches do you want to try to recruit this month, and what do you want? Do you want to maintain your rank? Do you want your rank to go up? How many challengers do you want to recruit this month, for how many points? And again, then you would kind of list how you're going to do each of those things. So, I listed out exactly what I was going to do to recruit coaches this month. I'm actually going to hold my first coach sneak peek. I've never done that on my own before, and those types of things. And then once you get past that page, there's a daily tracker where you have everything that's kind of in the business activity tracker, but there's some additional steps in it. So, for example, yes, we're supposed to do 10 minutes of personal development a day, but like, I know when I do personal development, I'm usually listening to it audio in my car, and then I'll have aha moments while I'm listening to it, and then I'll forget what it is a day later, and I don't have the book to go back to. So there's a place in the tracker where you would write down 3 takeaways from your 10 minutes of personal development, and you write down the names of the people that you invite, or that you add as friends, or that you form. And then any other little additional goals that you need to accomplish in order to hit those mid-level goals, you would also add. So, for example, for me, like, I had things I had to do on my website after Summit, other things I had to put together. So I kind of listed those all as other daily goals that I had to accomplish. I don't know if anyone has any questions about it.
Let's maybe Dana, you and I, let me share the screen, and let's have somebody,
Okay.
just help them set it up. So who has a big goal for next year? Who went to Summit, has a big dream, and then okay, Roxanne, you're going to be our guinea pig. I love that. So tell us about your big, and then we're just going to kind of go through this tracker, and then Dana, you and I can just kind of, or anybody, help her fill this out. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So, and here's the other thing too about this, y'all. Like, the freemiums are so good. I want to make sure people are downloading them and then opening them up and using them, because the quality of coaches that are putting these together are really, super talented. This stuff will help you. So, Roxanne, what is your big goal? I'm excited.
My big, hairy, scary goal is 2-star.
Okay, 2-star. Okay, and so to get to 2-star, right? Like, you have to have mid-level goals, right? So what? I don't know, Dana, if you want to take her through kind of the mid-level, how does 2-star equal this stuff, right?
So you'd have to think about, what do you need to sort of accomplish to actually get to 2-star. So think about, I would start first with thinking about personal development. What do you find kind of hard, or that kind of holds you back from getting to that 2-star level? So something you want to work on in terms of personal development.
Yeah, working on sharing my story and getting more open and, transparent, going back to what Sean T was saying with my posts.
Okay. Yeah. So then that would be your personal development goal for this month. And then what you would want to do is look for some books or some YouTube videos or even some trainings that are going to address that goal. And you would list them out in kind of the order that you want to complete them.
That's great, because I've got some I'm already doing and lined up for August and September. So
Perfect.
I can see how that could fit in there. I like that.
Perfect. And then, in terms of your current situation, thinking about getting to 2-star, how many coaches do you think you need to recruit?
Well, right now I'm still working on getting back to Diamond.
Okay.
So working with a couple of my business builders to get them back to Emerald as well.
Okay.
And as well as new ones, getting them on the path as well.
So let me cut in real quick, Dana. Like one of the cool things Cheyenne talked about in the Power Talk was having a buy win, right? So we can say, I want to do 2-star, and you want to know like why you do it. But if you have a buy win, one cool thing that Dana did with the month stuff is it breaks you down and it holds you accountable to, reverse engineering them essentially. So how aggressively do you want to hit 2-star is going to determine these numbers, right? And so it's one thing to have the goal, but it's other thing to have a buy win. And so that's why this tracker is so good at holding you accountable to the month. Like if your buy win is by summit of next year, then it's then you might not have to recruit as many coaches per month as if it is by the end of the year. So anyway, so I just wanted to throw in the buy win. So Dana.
Yeah, definitely. I loved when Cheyenne said that as well. I was like, oh my God. I was like, that's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
With the, I remember one of the talks that we were at in Silver Hall D, she said, go Emerald every month. That was like one of her ways to kind of measure it, meaning that you recruit 2 every month, but you also help your coaches recruit 2 every month.
I like that.
So that could potentially be your mid-level goal for the month, is for you to recruit 2 coaches and help your, business builders recruit 2 coaches. And then have a plan of, how you're going to do that, whether it's coach sneak peeks, inviting challengers, whatever kind of methods that you want to use to recruit those coaches for yourself, as well as to help your business builders do that.
Cool.
And I was listening. I don't know how many of you guys have the Who Knows a Guy Fitness websites, but I was listening to Curtis went live the other day about getting your coaches started off right. And I thought it was an amazing way to kind of look at it. And it's going to kind of change how I'm going to do things. When you first become a coach, it's so overwhelming. You're given so much information and you don't even really know where to start. And you're kind of thrown into all these trainings. And he was just kind of saying, like, when you get new coaches, to just start off with having a conversation with them, and just even before throwing them in trainings, being like, okay, just talk to some, close friends or family members and just ask them to join you on this journey. You run a challenge group with that, with the new coach, with their people. So I think for me, that's something that I'm going to change in terms of how I do it to help, some of my coaches become business builders, is just to kind of get their feet wet without having to go through the trainings that can sometimes be overwhelming.
That's awesome. And Dana, I want to thank you again for putting that together, because I think it's such a great resource for everybody. And you can use that, not only like right after summit with your summit goals, but what a cool thing to give to a coach. You have a Get Starting Right call. You talk about their goals, like, okay, we're going to hold you accountable. And that was, kind of my part of the Power Talk was, integrity of the goals you set. It can't just sound good, right? Because when you fall short of your goals, it gets easier to not hit your goals the next time, right? Like that's a disease that we don't want to fall into. So talk is great, but follow through and action earns respect. So Roxanne, I'm totally pulling for you to hit 2-star by when?
Summit.
By Summit. Cool. And anything that New Wave can do to help you if they're struggling with storytelling, that's why the community exists, is, hey, I'm struggling with this, or hey, I had a breakthrough with this, let me share, right? So it goes both ways. Hey, I'm struggling, can you guys help me figure it out? Or hey, boom, mind blown moment, this is totally working for me because I read this in a book, because somebody else probably is working at that too. So appreciate you definitely coming in. So you're wondering where to get it. Yeah, so right, all our Power Talks are archived on the newwavepowertalks.com, and then hopefully we'll have that up soon, and then you can just download that stuff there. And you can go way back to our original Power Talks. We're on Power Talk 8 now, so very good. So we're rooting for you too.
There's a lot of good stuff in those old Power Talks that I use all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Can be found there too.
I'm sorry, what's
Sorry, the freemium that you were going over, that tracker, that's at thatpowertalks.com.
Yeah, and it's right on our homepage right now. It says get tonight's free stuff, or get this Power Talk 8 free stuff. So, and that's what we love to do. We don't just give you advice, but we give you the tools, right? Like that's kind of what New Wave is all about. And then empowering everybody to help up or be able to step up to the plate. I want to share one of my biggest takeaways from Summit that maybe had nothing to do with what anybody said, but Summit is, like, for me, kind of just cements bonds with people, right? And for me, it was like a huge, like, kind of heart melt moment, like meeting a lot of the New Wavers in person, or seeing somebody like Robin doing the Beachbody Classic and be able to cheer her on. Like, we cheer her on like digitally, but it's like you feel everybody's real energy. Like hanging out in the workout with Dana, I was like, make the world a safer place. Don't do a plyo flip into Dana's face, right? Like, I'm like, we're all like that tight, but like my wife's there talking, and it's if you can bring your teams or hang out, make a contribution to New Wave, and then come in here, take a selfie, like, hey, and just give life into people, like that is kind of the magic of some of what I felt. Like, yeah, I had a lot of like stuff I wrote in the binders, but it cements relationships. And if you can bring personally sponsored coaches that aren't a coach yet, or if you can invite somebody even to Super Saturday this weekend, going to an event with somebody, whether they're in your downline or just in your region, cements relationships. And when you trust and respect each other, like, you guys can do really powerful, awesome things together. So I appreciate everybody who, if you're watching this recording or if you're on this live, that, if you came in and said hi to me, like, I really appreciate you. I really appreciate that too. So, anybody else want to share a big, hairy, scary goal that they're going to pursue by next summit? You want to, because this is living on. I'm recording this, y'all. So you say it, like, it's got to happen, right? Integrity to the goal. So, let me see. Tara, I don't see your face, and I see you're muted. So if you're there, why don't you tell me what your big, hairy, scary goal is? They're like, no way, dude. How about I see, I don't know, the Samsung user. I don't know who your name is.
Oh, that's me.
What's your name?
Am I on?
Yeah, you're on.
Okay. It's Jennifer Anderson.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi. Big scary goal, huh? Yeah. Well, I'm Emerald right now. I would like to be 1 star by Summit next year.
Awesome. Cool. We'll definitely dig into those Power Talks and use those goals, and then just use New Wave as a way to stay accountable, right? 1 star is tricky, right? Because that's Diamond, you can recruit a bunch of discount coaches, but 1 star means you have to have somebody who wants to do what you do, right? And I think that's cool. Anybody know who, like, Joe, is it Condon, or he's a corporate sales? Do you guys know? I don't know how to say his last name. Joe Condon?
Yeah, Condon.
I ran into him at Summit, and he used to work with just new diamonds, and now he's got a promotion. He works with everybody. He was like, the difference between diamonds and then like the 5 stars is like when I give them a project, there's said the diamonds are like, oh, well, life got in the way, or oh, I'm still working on that, or yeah, I'll get to it. And the 5 stars are all like, yeah, I did it. It really worked great. Thanks for the tip. I'm on to like 4 other things that I've crushed already, right? So they just execute. And he says that, you know, so many people can get to diamond, but, you know, help your coaches get to star diamond. Don't just help your coaches. A lot of coaches want to help their coaches get to diamond because, ooh, that makes you a star diamond. Help your coaches get to star diamond, right? Because then you're really creating wealth for them. You're really making an impact on their lives. And, you know, that wasn't taught in a seminar. That was taught in a conversation in a hallway, y'all. So that's why if you didn't get to Summit, like, you can't get a recording of that, right? You can't get the after party. You met somebody up at an after hangout and having those kind of networking conversations too. So, but Jennifer, we'll hope you get to 1 star, and then you know, let us know how your journey goes, because it's always ups and downs as you're going somewhere big. But we're here for support, and we'll pick you up, and then we'll celebrate with you when you hit that 1 star too. And when you do, I hope that you tell us all your secrets in New Wave. So I would really appreciate that. And then Tara, I saw you don't have a mic or whatever, but you were able to put in the chat. So if you want to call 2 star in the chat, that's awesome. So same advice. And Emerald right now, you guys can totally do that, you know. And I wanted to walk across stage at Summit. I was at Emerald last year. I didn't quite do it, but I'm building that strong foundation that's going to lead to a lot of stars in my future. And New Wave has made a big impact on a lot of my breakthroughs and a lot of my reaching new heights, you know, and that's only started since December. But anything else before I wrap this call up? Anybody else want to call their shot?
Robin said she had something.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Who had something?
Robin's
got some folded laundry.
Yes, I am doing laundry. You're all shocked. I'm lots of laundry. And nobody did laundry while I was gone. So anyway, so my upline coach is as of Thursday, she'll be 8 star and 9 star qualifying actually. And so she did something this after Summit that was so cool and so amazing to be a part of. She had all of her diamonds stay a day after Summit, and she paid for our hotel rooms, and she got us gifts, and she took us out for dinner, and she just made us, like, it was just such an amazing bonding thing. Like, you're talking about building relationships. Well, all of us, like we'll, you know, we just want to do anything for her. Like, it was just amazing. And next year, you know, she's offering this to anybody on her team who's diamond. So if I have a coach go diamond, you know, we're going to work it out. So, you know, we're going to have a diamond retreat with all of the diamonds. So she's not just helping herself progress, right? But she's helping us all progress. And yeah, and it was just so amazing. And so then, you know, it was just such a bonding experience. And yeah, it was amazing. So that's something for us all to keep in mind when, you know, as you progress. It doesn't have to be at that level, but maybe do something for your team. It doesn't have to be that same level of investment either, but something that's going to help bond your team together.
That's great. That's awesome.
So
there's nothing like being trapped in the same house or the same hotel room or the same after party. There's nothing the same as that. That's such a good point. And then that's totally that's totally helping your coaches go star diamond, right, Robin? So now, like, you could be the hero on her dime almost, right? Like, if you bring a diamond and then all of a sudden, cool, let me help you. We're going to hang out at this special diamond retreat. And then maybe one day you'll be the 8 star, right? Like, you'll be a whole bunch. And so that's cool. I love that.
And it's helping all of our businesses because she made, you know, we're all coaches, right? So there was lots of photo ops and lots of potentials for pictures. And so we're all posting about this diamond retreat we're on. And I have a few people who are interested in being coaches who are liking all of those pictures. So, you know, it's multi-purpose.
Awesome.
Am I lost? Oh, there you are.
Yeah, it cut out just a little bit, but I think we got you. Cool. And then I don't know. I want to give a shout out to Cheyenne for her correspondence skills. If you get raise your hand if you watched any of her lives, or yeah, she was so awesome, and she was freaking everywhere. I don't even know how she did it. She was like, she found Dana in
Walgreens.
She was finding people in the hallways. She was getting interviews. She was doing interviews like in back alleys, and then she like found famous people and almost had to like end the broadcast. I don't even know. She was freaking everywhere, and posting all of like the info with her unbelievable energy and enthusiasm. I wanted to give you a shout out, Cheyenne, for doing that, because it made my day watching it in Summit. I'm like, man, she's freaking everywhere. And I know like if I didn't get a go, I would have really appreciated kind of that, seeing it through that filter, the Cheyenne filter, right? It's so good.
Thank you. Kelly was with me the whole time at EMO, so it was hilarious. They're like, what are you doing now? I'm like, a live for New Wave. Then I did another live. They're like, didn't you just do that? I'm like, yeah, now it's my like page. It was too funny. But it was great. It was great seeing everybody. And like, I swear I felt like a celebrity. Like, it was weird. Like, I had people that were like, oh yeah, I know you from New Wave. And I'm like, oh, hi, what's your name? And it's with the name, but I had to recognize it, right? Not with the face.
Yeah, it was so good. Great energy. I think that just everybody willing to step up and then do what they do, because you totally gave it the Cheyenne flair, right? Canada down in Nashville. That's what makes this community so special. So thanks for coming, everybody coming to First Tuesday. I'm gonna make a post of your trackers, your kind of like breakthrough trackers, what I called them in the freemium. So download them and at least fill one out. And then when you crush that goal, when you crush your monthly goal or your high level goal, ring the bell and say, hey, I posted this 2 months ago, freaking earned it today, right? And have that integrity with it. So does that sound good? All right, you guys are all awesome. Give me a fist bump to end the call. And I love that. I'm going to post a recording. I'm going to get the Power Talk recording up as well. But see you guys all. Love you all. And catch you guys next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.